Hello, my name is Peter Marcos, and I will be talking about the interview that I conducted for this assignment. First, who did I interview? I interviewed Dr. Jeremy Cohen, Supervisor of Mathematics, grades 5 to 12 in the Township of Union. He was previously a math teacher in the same district for 14 years. He taught mostly at the high school level, but also spent some time teaching 5th and 8th grade. Question 1. What is a recent curricular or program change that has been instituted within the past year or two? For the 2017-2018 school year, both middle schools adopted a new math curriculum called Eureka Math. It's also sometimes referred to as Engage New York. Question 1, Part B. Which math curriculum was the district using before this change? Holt-McDougall Mathematics. Question 2. What led you to deciding that a change was needed? The curriculum that was previously being used had not been updated in 10 years. Within that time, there were many changes happening at the state and national level, such as No Child Left Behind, Common Core, etc. The district had been using a very traditional and old school set of textbooks for the old curriculum. What data was used to determine the need for the change? Both quantitative, numbers and measurable, and qualitative feedback, principals, teachers, etc., such as PARCC scores, benchmark scores. The supervisor had polled all of the middle school math teachers to see their happiness with the old curriculum, asked district administrators on their opinions of the old curriculum. What was the timeline to bring about the change? In the 2016-2017 school year, the supervisor formed a committee in October. The committee was composed of math teachers from both middle schools who had volunteered to be a part of the committee. The committee was tasked to research and study all of the top curriculums being used. The committee eventually selected their top 5 curriculums. The supervisor then arranged to have one of the committee members observe a lesson with a few of the school districts that were currently utilizing one of the selected top 5 curriculums. This was about a 4 to 5 month process. After the 4 to 5 month process, both the committee and supervisor chose the curriculum, which was Eureka Math. Once they made the selection for the new curriculum, the rest of the math teachers were informed of the decision. The supervisor then made preparations for professional development sessions, also known as PDs, which will be discussed later in question 8. List any resources that were used to bring about the change. Both the supervisor and committee reached out to schools who were each using one of the top 5 curriculums that were being considered. Was there any involvement from parents, students, or the community? At the start of the 2017-2018 school year, parents were invited by the supervisor to attend an after-school Q&A meeting. Was there any involvement from external agents, such as state or national level? The only time the state was involved, it occurred once the top 5 curriculums were chosen. The supervisor contacted a union rep from the state and asked him his opinion and thoughts on the chosen top 5 curriculums. What, if any, PDs were provided to the staff? There was a PD session before the 2016-2017 school year ended. There was a PD session offered over the summer where the math supervisor, along with a selected group of middle school math teachers, would attend a Eureka Math summer training class in New York. Attending this training was an out-of-pocket expense to teachers, but it was definitely worth the expense. Teachers were given online access to explore and discover Eureka Math over the summer. Lastly, there was a PD session right before the 2017-2018 school year started. What is your plan to ensure that future incoming staff and current staff continue to implement the culture of the school? Continue to offer PDs to help teachers the best way possible. Like last year, teachers are required to collaboratively work together in their PLC teams. Has there been any factors working against the implementation process? Since the curriculums are different than what the parents have experienced when they were in school, they did not understand the need for the new curriculum. The parents also questioned the adoption of the new curriculum since it was so different. Additionally, some teachers thought that the curriculum would be too difficult for their students. Now that Now that the implementation has begun, how has this implementation addressed the original needs? Have you needed to change the direction at all? I.e., have you needed to use Plan B, Plan C, etc.? So to answer the first question, the benchmark scores for all grade levels increased. Park data, in comparison of the scores for the 2016-2017 school year to the 2017-2018 school year, the results were this. 5 courses had scores increase. 1 course had scores remain the same. 2 courses had scores decrease. So my supervisor looked at it as because the majority of the courses, their scores increased, he considered it a success. To answer the second question, have you needed to change the direction at all? The direction has not changed at this time. They only implemented it for a year, so it's been such a short time that's not a surprise. Explain the effectiveness of the change. What were the strengths of the change and plan? A joint decision was made by the members who would be teaching it. It was not a decision that was made in one day. There was a lot of research put into the decision, and it was a strategic decision. Explain the effectiveness of the change. What were the weaknesses of the change and plan, i.e. what problems or concerns have come up as a result of this change? Some teachers will push back against the implementation of the change. Some teachers will be hesitant. Other teachers will run with the implementation of the change. Did a culture change occur? Yes, anytime there is a change, when teachers start to push back on something, it is because the culture is changing. And that is it. I just want to personally thank Dr. Jeremy Cohen for the interview, and thank you very much for your time.